to Yaya, Diamond's Dream Chasers, Radio Special. Shout out show.
Hey guys, it's me, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? Listen, I'm gonna give a shout out to author Taamir Ransom, and this shout out is all about the Mind of a Soldier book, the 34 Laws for the War After the War. Listen to me when I tell you that this is a subject that I know for a fact is a a reality for a lot of people who come home from wars, people who come home that their family members or their friends don't even regard their service as service. So I wanted to go over this because this is also not just a book, but it's an audio book as well. And I wanted to show you this because, all right, so first of all, it is on Amazon, but like I said, it is an audio book as well. And oh my gosh, when I tell you that I want to share my screen with you really quick to show you what the book actually looks like online, there it is. It is the mind of a soldier. Okay, the mind of a soldier. Um, and oh, it, it hurts me. It really does hurt me to know that the mind of a soldier is so close to me. Like I have a lot of friends that served in all kinds of wars, and there is a war going on right now. And to know people in the war, to know that they're going to come back totally different than when they went out. They're not going to be the same person. So this is not a story. It's not fiction. It's not. It's not a autobiography. It's not a memoir. This is a handbook. It is a handbook, and I want to go over that with you guys really quick because I think a lot of people can benefit from having this book in their repertoire, having this book on their audiobook, gifting this book to people who may be going through something. Because when the people go off to war, they come back to another war, the war that's not just inside of them, but the war to try to conform to who they were before they left. And that's never going to happen. And then you have the system that puts them through all kinds of different health issues and it just to me it makes me sad to know that when they do come back, there are people that don't appreciate it, that say that spit in their faces. I mean, I've seen it on I've seen it. Have you not seen this? I've seen it where people were rejected by their own families because they came back and they came back a different person, and they came back violent, or they came back sad or depressed or whatever. These people are going through a lot of things. Can you imagine? I don't want to imagine. I don't want to imagine. I don't want to imagine. All I want to do is I want to show you guys and I want to tell you guys about this book, Mind of a Soldier. It's the 34 Laws for the War After the War. And I wanted to go over some of the realities that some people are going to have to face, regardless of whether you are the person or whether you are the person that's going to be dealing with them when they get back. And there are different different questions that we need to be asking ourselves as we talk about this book. And obviously this is on Amazon as a regular book as well as an audio book. But I wanted to go through this because you can go ahead and you can listen to the virtual sample, but we're not going to do that today. What I wanted to say was, and I wanted to actually reiterate this because I think that this is so very important to know that these questions, I never really asked myself these questions. And to tell you the truth, I never really thought about one of the questions that and this is not all of them, obviously, but one of the questions that what is asked here, I always say it. I literally always say it. And I never really put it to mind that it wasn't something that they could compute. So, they did everything right. They served, they sacrificed, they came home, and now they're sitting at the VA room waiting for someone to take care of them with a number. Okay, filling out the same forms over and over and over again, and being told that the approved treatment is available in 17 days, 20 days, 30 days, 60 days. I mean, how long do they have to wait to get service? They could just go down to the emergency room and get better service than go to the VA. The Mind of a Soldier is not a help book. It's not a self-help book. It's not a memoir. It's a field manual written by retired Special Operations EOD Sergeant Major, who was the first Black Tier 1 EOD operator in U.S. history. A, for the war that nobody briefs you on before you take off the uniform. So as they come back, there is another war, not only dwindling and kind of going against who they used to be, but going against who they are today and who people expect them to be. And then of course you have the VA, you got all these other things that they have to deal with when they come back. They never had to deal with this before they left. That's what this book is all about. So some of the 34 laws are in this book is why the PTSD diagnosis was built for a single traumatic event and what it misses about the career warfighter. Why the treatment fails 91% of the people it was designed to serve. Go figure, 91%. Not like 1%, 10%, 91. Why do they have it? What why do they have it? Why is it there if it's 91% ineffective? It makes no sense. None. None. Why the civilian world's version of you is either a hero or a monster and you are neither. That was the one thing that got me. Because yeah, I mean, think about it. They served their country. They went and they did what they thought was right, but they're not neither a hero because they were in it and they had to survive it. And they're not a brutal person because if they didn't survive it, they would be dead. Yeah. Yeah. Why your nervous system, your sleep, your body, and your identity are not broken. They are miscalibrated for an environment that no longer exists. They are no longer the person that left for the war. They are come back a different person. They have come back to traumatic events that they've seen. They've come back to a world that doesn't really um, accept them, and they don't accept it because their world has been completely changed because of what they've seen, what they've gone through, what they've experienced, and here we are. Yeah, and the one thing that I thought about that I was like, "Oh my gosh, I never really thought about this." The "Thank you for your service" ends the conversation, it pretends to start. You know, I never thought that "Thank you for your service" was bad. It does end the conversation. It really does, because it takes them back to the moment where they were when this traumatic PTSD event happened. Mhm. I don't know if I wanna say that anymore. Maybe there's another way of saying it. Maybe there's something else I can do. Why the most dangerous thing you'll ever do is not the mission, it is the silence after it. You gotta speak up. You gotta talk. You gotta get them to talk. You gotta get them to open up because that's gonna it's gonna kindle inside of them. It's definitely gonna twin. It's there's just so much stuff. This is written for the veteran who is performing wellness in the waiting room, for the spouse who cannot explain why the person they love is unreachable, for the civilian who wants to understand but does not know where to start, and for the policymaker who needs the gap. To see the gap between the what the country promises and what they actually deliver, measured in the people who fell through it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is yeah, yeah. This book right here, Mind of a Soldier, 34 Laws of the War After the War. Yeah, we need to be paying attention. We need to definitely, especially in this time, in this day and age where people are at war. And I don't know what they're seeing. I don't wanna know what they're seeing. I don't wanna know what they're going through. I mean, I've heard of horror stories of people going through stuff that I don't even wanna repeat because I think I'd get flagged. Yeah, yeah, I think I would be flagged. But I want you guys to check this book out because maybe this is something that can help you. Maybe this is something that can help your loved one that just came back from war. Maybe it can help, your neighbor, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your mother, your best friend, somebody. Mind of a Soldier, 34 Laws for the War After the War is for everyone who is dealing with the war not only in the past but in their minds. And of obviously, they're not gonna be the same person that they were when they left and come back, and it's just not gonna be the same. But what we can do is we can study up on what we can do as civilians, what we could do as someone who loves the person that came back, or even the person that came back can understand what the civilian is thinking. Yeah, we need to do better. We definitely need to do better. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to put the link to the description in the box so that it'll be easy for you guys to find it. It's called The Mind of a Soldier, and it's the 34 Laws for the War After the War. And remember that they love you. The loved one, the person that went through this traumatic experience, who has PTSD, who doesn't talk a lot, who's different than when they left. Their love for you has not changed. It's just a situation that they went through that has changed them. And they have to kind of reintroduce themselves to society that they no longer probably fit in as good as they thought they could have fit in when they left. They're not the same person. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, bye. Thank you for watching.